What advice would you give to someone struggling with people pleasing or codependency?
Yeah. All of us struggle with that to one degree or another. Even people you don't think struggle with it, right? It just looks different for them, right? That every one of us longs for acceptance. Every one of us needs to be received and to be accepted and to be valued. And our want to have others be pleased with us, be happy with us, like us, receive us, be accepting towards us, motivates us in our ways of relating. And those who are not able to acknowledge their need for that, oftentimes because they've not had it, back to that idea of I need water. If I don't have water, my need for that is painful to me. And so I can go into this mode of wanting to tell myself, I don't even like water. Because it's a way of distancing myself from the pain that I feel around not having what I need. And so people who, seem to not care what other people think, right? I don't care. And that's really a defense against the pain that a person has felt and feels around not having the acceptance that they really need and long for. It's a way of kind of distancing yourself from that. On the other side of that can be that the sense of not having that and looking for it everywhere, and then looking for it from folks that can't offer that, or sabotaging that in relationship. And so I'm constantly looking for it, needing that, and not having it. I think because I'm not actually engaging with individuals and looking for that from people who can provide it to me in a legitimate way, or I'm sabotaging things along the way out of my fear of intimacy or my fear of not being able to receive what it is that I need, or the mechanics of how I go about trying to receive that are skewed. That I don't know how to go about that in a healthy way and having a healthy relationship. And so I think the question I talked about kind of the codependent dynamics, right? So codependent dynamics are a skewed way of trying to have that need met. One aspect of that codependent dynamic is that need for agreement or alignment, right? That I need for you to think like I think and feel like I feel. And I can achieve that either by conforming to what it is that you think and feel and what you want in the situation, even if it's not really what I have need of or what's really going on me. I'm going to try to please by conforming, or by trying to get you to conform to what it is I think I need you to be, to think like I think, feel like I feel, kind of around these issues. And so it's a confusion of a sameness as acceptance, right? And that if we're not the same, then I can't feel close to you. I can't feel connected with you. I don't feel accepted if you think and feel differently than I do around things. So that creates that kind of codependent dynamic within the relationship that causes me to take on your problems as though they're my own in order to try to solve them so that we can have togetherness. Creates kind of the codependent control dynamics that you see take place, the rage that comes with me trying to help you so that you'll love me, and you not cooperating with me in that. So it's a basic need that we all have. So we don't want to demonize that need as though it's a bad thing. We just want to recognize that the mechanisms that we're using to try to get that need met are not very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think, you said this, that we all kind of experience that at some point, that just people pleasing, codependency. And I know that I've experienced it, and really.
Yeah, it's a human part of experience, that we all need acceptance, and we all are trying to find it in one way or another. And a lot of times that can be not healthy. And so kind of recognizing how do we get that need met, Where is that being met in our life? Is it being met in a healthy way? If not, how do I get there to where I can experience that?
Yeah. Well, and I even just think about, as we talk, just that need for community that is a need and is necessary,
Mhm.
but finding that balance of, I need community and I need mentorship
Mhm.
and encouragement, but I also, don't want to rely on that for all of my, feelings of fulfillment. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yet our through relationships of one sort or another, that's where that comes from. Like none of us generate that internally, just kind of on our own. Sometimes our sense of our fear of not having that from people, our experience of not having that from people, make us want to be individualistic with that, in the sense of somehow I can fulfill that without needing people. And it's not possible. You know, that in the most ideal scenario in world, we begin to get that just even as infants, right? As our parents looked into our face and delighted in us. And they look at us and they're just, you could, as an infant child, you look back into your parents' face and you see the acceptance and you see how much they enjoy you and what a delight they see you are. And you start to get the sense as an infant of, hey, pretty cool. People like me. These humans, these things outside of me, they smile whenever they look at me. Right? We kind of internalize a sense of acceptance, and we grow up in the light of that acceptance from our parents and the important people in our life, which helps us form an internal sense of our lovableness and our ability to be accepted, that people will like us and want to be in relationship with us and will be accepting of us. Or conversely, if that wasn't our experience growing up, we have a real insecurity around that. If we haven't experienced that acceptance in our life, or in important stages of our life didn't experience that acceptance, whether from parents or peers, or others, that there's an insecurity around that and a lack of assuredness that creates a lot of pain, and defenses come out to try to protect us from, and kind of creates the negative relationship cycles that we're talking about.